What's up, guys? This is Bullby the Fell-Handed, and today we are on Arctic region snow standard battle. The greens have spawned in the southwestern side, and the reds have taken the northeastern spawn. We are in the Chinese Tier 8 premium tank, the Type 59, and of course, this is before the most recent patch. As you will notice, the unditching beam that is prevalent on a number of Russian Soviet vehicles is currently all black. They actually fixed that in the most recent update. Just throwing that out there, a little bit of trivia. Now, moving on, there's essentially one of three ways you can push this board. You can go right flank, which is currently the flank we're going. I would only recommend your pocket mediums or your heavies push that flank, as it tends to get kind of dicey and tricky. You can push the mid right around E5. You can get up in that trench and see them as they cross over, possibly getting shots on them, or you can just straight up push the left flank. Now, I must warn you, the left flank, you will be very, very vulnerable to the clickers that like to set A0, B0, A9 right around there. So just keep that in mind. If they have multiple clickers or a fast firing arty, what have you, just be very, very cautious. Okay, so right away we're getting into it. Got a guy over here. He's pretty well dug in. And the idea behind here, guys, is we're going to see if we can't let the greens soak up some rounds. Maybe wait till he shoots, then pull out, put a round on him. So right here we're going to put one in the commander's turret, hatch of the M103. Pulled some nice assist damage there for the rest of that kill. And now we're going to go ahead and push up until we hit some other opposition. And essentially what we're doing is becoming hull down through the side of the hill there. We're not exposing ourselves very much, and anything that kind of gets shot at us, there's a very high probability the turret is going to take it. Now, on average in this tank, you're going to block anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300 damage if you know how to stay hull down properly. So just keep that in mind. It's not necessarily like a Super Pershing where people don't really understand how to pin it, and you're going to block 2 to 3k a match. So just keep that in mind. Now, moving on, we went ahead and switched back to AP. We've got a couple of guys up there where essentially we are nervous about the people we can't see, which is going to be your tank destroyer sitting on top of that hill, peeking over the edge, so on and so forth. So we're going to make a run for the right-hand side, get below ground level here, where we can get hull down from pretty much anybody on the left, and as well as we can get up in here and put some heat on these clickers as well. So the reason for us being in this hole is kind of twofold. We ended up bouncing around off the side of the turret that time, which was fantastic. Put a round in the Panther artillery as he was running away. And we've still, we're in a good position. At the same time, if they decide, hey, this guy's being a pain in the butt, let's go over here, let's get rid of him, then we're going to be in trouble. And that's something you're going to find out with this tank, that, if you get rolled, a lot of guys come at you at once, you're going to be in trouble. The good thing is we happen to have backup. We've got guys at D8. We also have guys right behind us there at F9. So, if they decide to say, come over here and say, okay, we got to get rid of this 5.9, he's being a pain in the butt, then, they can get rid of you, but they're just going to have to pay for it. So this right here, my constant viewers, is just textbook hull down. We're pulling up, we're taking some shots, and we're pulling back down. That's more or less the end of it. There's both hatches on the left and right can be pinned. You have to hit them dead center. And to the left and right of the gun on the Type 59 is vulnerable, but you have to be running an extremely hot round. So, we're not in a hurry. The majority of their team is back here, and we're just kind of plugging away at them. We're just putting rounds left, right, and center. The downside is we actually have to look through the logs to do it. I know that's why a lot of people use the colorblind mode, the purple mode, so they can, locate their targets better when they are hull down. But for right now, it's working for us. Putting a lot of good rounds on target here. And there's little to nothing they can do about it. They're firing back at us, but we're just in an excellent position. We're taking a little bit here and there, possibly from the side of the tank or even the front of the tank. And that's the one thing you have to be very cautious about when running a tank with not exactly stellar gun depression, is that sometimes when you pull up like that, you're exposing part of your tank that unfortunately there's nothing you can do. The best thing would be is to go to a training room and then practice there and say, okay, if I pull up this far, you've got shots at the front left side of my tank, what have you. It's a very useful training tool. So we took a round there from the clicker. They weren't really getting in a lot of shots until, you know, the clicker got through. But the good thing is we can just sit here and stay hull down and we can just make the magic happen. We're not in any hurry. We're doing perfectly fine on damage, and we're just making things happen. It's, you know, we're not under time constraints. We're not worried about, you know, if the rest of the team comes in, will they kill the rest of them? No, because what they have left is just boarded up, just all in one location right around that corner. The Reds have consolidated their position right there at B7, B8, so we don't really have to worry about them getting out of there. And at the same time, we don't really have to worry about any greens going in there and taking all our damage, because if they do, they will get annihilated by the Reds since they're all in one location. So there's something to be said for consolidating your position, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily one that says, you know, hey, we're in this game, let's get all of our tanks and just pile them up right here. Because what happens is, you know, if you've ever tried to side scrape, you know, in an active alley, you've got your side scraping and then people are like ended up pushing you out of the way or hitting you as they're trying to get by. So more often than not, if you have that many vehicles in one area, it's going to be a liability instead of a boom. But you know, it just depends on the operators, of course, just like anything else. So there's 2 guys left on the board. We are going to go over here, see if we can't get some in-game damage. There's nothing wrong with that. We just have to be very cautious to make sure we don't take a shot on our way in, as we'll get removed from the game, and we want to bump up our survival rate. Guys, this is all I have for you today on the Type 59. This footage is from ByzantineFalcon. If you like it, make sure to hit that guy up. I hope you all enjoy. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.